What's up, guys? Eric Pray, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Wednesday, January the 4th. Sorry didn't do a video last week between the cold weather and the Christmas holiday and family obligations. I wasn't on the water very much over the Christmas weekend, but in the last 7 days I've done a couple of trout trips, a couple of bass trips, and a couple of crappie trips. So I do have some intel for you for Table Rock as of right now. Lake level, we are at 914.4 right now. Puts us a little bit more than a half foot down. That rain we got, I guess it was Monday night, actually brought the lake up a little bit, brought it up about half a foot, and it's still rising a little bit. The bigger thing it did, it was a very warm rain, so it did raise the surface temperature quite a bit. We were down in that 46 to 48 range, and was out yesterday, and I saw 49 up around the James. I know a couple of guys that were down by the dam, and they saw around that 50, 51 degree range. So it did warm the water up, so we do have a little bit warmer water. We do have some fresh water coming in, and it has helped the bite quite a bit. Best way to know what's going on, best way to stay on top of it, of course, join Table Rock Fishing Intel, get those daily reports, weekly reports, get all that information so you know what's going on before you go to the lake. But if you're coming down, say you're going to fish the lower end of the lake, lower end is still got a good deep bite going on. It's kind of hit or miss. This water coming in and the Corps' efforts to kind of generate electricity and move some water has kind of moved the shad quite a bit. So you find them in one spot one day, you go there the next day, and the shad just aren't there. So it's kind of a hunt and peck sort of thing. The most consistent areas to find fish right now as far as a deep bite has been around the mouths of the creeks, either main lake or mouths of the creeks. Most of the fish are definitely relating to shad, so if you can find those bigger schools of shad right now, you're going to find the fish. We've been catching them on a drop shot. We've been catching them on a jigging wrap, on a scuba spoon, on the scope spin, on Demiki rig. But just about anything that you want to fish deep, you can catch fish on when you find the fish around the shad. A lot of them have been relating to the bottom in that 45 to 60 foot range. So keep an eye out for that. You may only see one or two fish down there when you're looking on your electronics around the shad, but when you hook one, you'll see a lot of them come up and chase after that bait. So kind of keep an eye out for that. The bite in the trees has been kind of mediocre at best. I'm kind of going to trees if I can't find anything on near the bottom on gravel or in the guts of the creeks on the bottom. But most of them have been suspended, and it seems like the better fish, the bigger largemouth, are those solitary fish that are suspended around 25 to 35. So keep that in mind as well. And those are excellent fish if you're using your forward-facing sonar to target with a scope spin. That's how I've been catching most of those fish, is with a scope spin. I'll see them maybe out there 30, 40, 50 feet in front of the boat, and throw the scope spin out there and let it drop down to them, and then just work it right over top of them. And that's how I've been catching a lot of my better fish in the last week or so when I have been bass fishing. Shallow bite there. There is a bit of a jerkbait bite going on. It's not great yet, but we are catching a few on either a Vision 110 or a Spromix stick. Catching a few on a crankbait as well. The crankbait bite is really wind dependent. It looks like we'll have wind the next couple of days, but if you don't have wind, I can't seem to get bit on a crankbait, and actually the jerkbait bite's not been that good either with it. And the jig bite's been okay. Catching mostly smallmouth, but down by the dam, it's not as good as it is up the rivers. We can go up in the Kimberling City area, deep bite again. We got a really good deep bite going in Kimberling. It's all predicated on shad. You've got to find the shad, and the shad are moving daily based on water coming in, the Corps drawing water. So you got to kind of hunt and peck around and find those groups of shad. When you find the groups of shad, you will find the fish around them and underneath them. So look for the shad. Like I said, just like down at the dam, the most consistent area has been in the mouths of the creeks. Not really back in the creeks, but I did 2 bass trips this past week. One trip we found them in the mouth of a creek. The next trip we did, it was towards the back. So you got to look. Use the birds to help find the shad, but you got to look around, find the shad, and then scope spin, scuba spoon, jigging wrap, drop shot rig, Demiki rig. All those are working when you find those fish around the shad. So keep that in mind. Shallow bite is a little bit better. Starting to catch them on an A rig in the Kimberling City area. Most of them 18 to 25 foot deep. Starting to catch them on a jerkbait in the Kimberling City area as well, either a mixed stick or a Vision 110 or Vision 110 plus 1 or plus 2. Actually, the plus 1 was a little bit better in the Kimberling City area around some standing timber. If you've got wind, remember you got to have wind to really get that jerkbait bite going. Crankbait bite in Kimberling City, when I was there, I didn't really throw it much because it was kind of a calm day. So if we've got wind, you can probably still catch them on a rock crawler or a wigglewort, Kimberling City area. And the jig bite is, it's there, it's just not great. You can catch a few on a jig around boat docks, you can catch a few on a jig around brush piles, but it's not a great bite right now. Go up in the James. The James has a better jig bite, has a better crankbait bite, has a better A-rig bite, has a better stickbait bite or jerkbait bite. Look for those fish to be on transition areas, certainly around timber, around brush piles. You can catch them on a jerkbait, like I said, mixed stick, Vision 110 plus 1 or plus 2, especially around brush piles. Around the end of docks is where we've been catching some fish on a jerkbait there. Crankbait bite has been pretty good up there, especially with this warmer water coming in, so you can certainly catch them on a rock crawler, wigglewort, curve 55 on those transition areas where it goes from bigger rock to smaller rock, so keep that in mind. And actually probably the best jig bite on the lake, if you're wanting to go through a jig right now, either a peewee or a spider jig, is up the Kimberling City area. Seems like you get those calm days back and hit those first couple of transitions and those first couple of channel swings in the mouths of the creeks, and there have been some better fish coming off those transition areas and off of those channel swings in the mouths of the creeks. White River, the deep bite's been really strong, especially from the confluence with the James up to around Shell Knob. Again, scope spin, a scuba spoon, drop shot rig, Demiki rig, jigging wrap, all those baits are working. Again, you got to find the shad, and the mouths of the creeks have been better for the shad, but it doesn't mean they're not going to be towards the back. You know, you get this water coming in, shad are going to be moving, fish are going to be moving, so you got to find the shad. But when you find the shad, you can find those fish, and I've been catching them anywhere from 45 to 70 feet deep on the bottom and catching them suspended in those same depths. And again, it seems like those better fish, especially the better largemouth, are the singles that you see down there around 20 to 25 or even 35 foot deep, and target those with a scope spin. Jerkbait bite's been really good. Talked to a couple of guys, been catching them pretty solid from about Shell Knob up to about Big M, even a little bit further up than that, mostly on a Vision 110 plus 1, around standing timber, around brush piles, on transition areas. So look for that. Fish have not been that deep, and really most of them are using their forward-facing sonar to see the fish and throw a jerkbait to them. Crankbait bite's been a little hit or miss up there, but again, we get a windy day, cloudy day, fish move up shallow, start chasing with this warmer water. I wouldn't be afraid to throw a rock crawler or a wigglewort up there. And then the jig bite's been okay. I'm not saying the jig bite's going away. You can always catch them on a jig on table rock, but I think there are more efficient ways to cover water right now. But if it's a calm, sunny day and you don't feel like fishing deep, I would definitely throw a spider jig around some of those transition areas and on some of the channel swings back in the creeks. Guys, we are into January. The weather's been great the last few days. It's a little bit cool today. That's why I'm in the office, not on the lake, but supposed to warm up again by the weekend. I think we got a tournament this weekend, the Polar Bear event that Randy Conlon puts on out of Mill Creek. So if you guys are looking for a derb to fish, you get a derby this Saturday, and I think we got another one next Saturday. It's Not All I Want for Christmas is a big bass tournament. That's next Saturday as well. So we got some tournaments going on. We got some stuff going on. Best way to know what to do before you go to the lake, join Table Rock Fishing Intel and get all those reports. We've had a ton of reports over the holidays. Got a ton more reports coming. We got some video stuff coming. We got a lot of exciting things going to happen with Intel. Good time to join Intel, become a pro member, and get all that information that you need to catch more fish on Table Rock Lake. If you're coming down though, want to hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743 or hit my website, focusfishing.com. Either book online or shoot me an email. I get back to you as soon as I can. But guys, thanks for watching the videos. Again, check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you haven't done so. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.